Good morning. It's Monday, February 21st, and there's good news from the West Coast. California has passed a bill that would have citizens enforce a weapons ban. This bill would allow private citizens to go after gun makers in the same way that Texas allows them to sue abortion providers. This is a monumental step forward. Texas has opened the door to many other states to do the same thing that they are doing to the abortion providers. So states taking a look at this may do this for gun manufacturers, drug dealers. Who knows what they're going to come up with? I can't even think of the possibilities of the different types of attacks on evil providers of some service or other this law could be used for. And the great thing about this law, the one that California has passed, is that the Supreme Court allowed Texas, validated that the Texas law was okay. The Texas abortion law is constitutionally okay. So that may mean that the California gun law will be constitutionally okay. And I don't think the Supreme Court thought about some of these things, about the door that they were opening in allowing that private citizens could do the work of the government. So this law that California passed is going to allow private citizens to sue gun makers to stop them from selling assault weapons in the same way that Texas lets its residents sue abortion providers to stop the procedures. And then Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is daring the Supreme Court to treat both issues the same. So this is putting a lot of pressure on the Supreme Court, but they have now opened the door for this thing to happen in many other ways besides just chasing down abortion providers. Now Newsom thinks that the Supreme Court's decision in December was absurd and outrageous, but he's glad they opened the door. They allowed that law to pass, so they set the new rules. And now they're going to have to stick with it, or else they're going to have to defend themselves if they change their mind and decide that the California law is not constitutionally correct. But so he says, he's challenging the Supreme Court. Let's see how principled they are, he said. Let's see how they stick to their guns in this situation. When you know that poor people who are running around trying to get an abortion don't have the same leverage in this country that gun manufacturers do. So if this law is allowed to pass, there will be a lot of unhappy gun manufacturers in this country. And they're already unhappy because of the Sandy Hook decision. And I think it's great. I think somebody has to step up to the plate and twist some arms. And that's what Newsom is doing. He is twisting the arms of the Supreme Court. He's going to make sure that they know what the hell they're doing. This is putting a lot of pressure on them. The Texas law was unique. Nobody ever tried that before. Because, the law doesn't allow the government to do certain things, but private citizens can do things. So Texas opened a can of worms. And under the Texas law, they say abortion providers or anyone who aids and abets the procedure can be sued. So we throw that on the gun manufacturers now. Anybody who sells an assault rifle or maybe even a bazooka can now be sued by private citizens. Now California has banned the sale and manufacture of many assault-type weapons for decades. But last year, a U.S. judge, Roger Benitez, overturned that law, ruling it was unconstitutional. And he compared an AR-15 rifle to a Swiss Army knife. And I believe many of us had heard that at some point when he did that. And he said, look, a Swiss Army knife is good for both home and battle. So is an AR-15 good for home and battle? Why do we have a AR-15 to protect ourselves? Now that ruling drove Governor Newsom crazy, and he said he's going to fight back. And this is how he's fighting back. He has put this Texas law into effect in California. That's the way he's fighting back, right? And that's why the Firearms Policy Coalition opposed the law at the High Court. The group said Friday it would go to court if necessary to block the California proposal. The restrictions, the group said, are really just modern-day Jim Crow. They're designed to suppress the exercise of human rights the tyrants who run California don't like. So now we have the anti-gun people in the mix. But I like the idea. I like what Newsom is doing. I like what everybody on that state legislature in California is doing. And let's see if the U.S. Supreme Court has the guts to uphold the gun law if it allows the Texas abortion law to stand. But we don't think it's that simple, because the Constitution says that we have the right to bear arms, even though you have to be a well-regulated militia to do that. But we ignore that fact. And the right to an abortion is not specifically protected in the Constitution. But the court recognized other protections, even things that are not explicitly stated in the Constitution. So this will be a very interesting case going forward. And I'm going to see if those Supreme Court justices have the same guts for the California action as they did for the Texas action. So I leave you with that. Have a great day. Bye.